Folks, welcome to the latest market report and insights for Vaughan and Richmond Hill for week ending March 10th. You know, before I get into all the numbers and what's happening, I just want to take a second to say thank you to all of you for all your support. Every week we get lots of phone calls from people looking to buy, looking to sell real estate, even just regular questions on certain situations you need some help with. I'm happy to talk to everybody. I really appreciate all the calls. I appreciate the comments below. Thank you for subscribing. This is a reminder also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe below, hit the bell button. But we really appreciate all the support from you folks. Thank you. Let's get into what's happening in Vaughan and Richmond Hill. I'm going to talk about, first of all, detached properties, and then I'm going to go on to condos. There's a few things that I know are going to catch your interest here. Okay, so this is probably for sure, this is the last week where comparing to last year is going to make any kind of sense, just because last year, right after this time, we went into lockdown and everything went just crazy, and activity and everything just went right down. So this is the last time. So let's take a look at this. Sales for last week, ending March 10th, we sold 83 detached properties in Vaughan. Now 83 is a great week. It's the highest that we have on the board here, and I've got about 8 months of data on the board here. Of those 83, 17 sold at $2 million or more. That's 20%. 20% of all detached homes that sold in Vaughan sold at $2 million or more. That's a big number. Average sold price jumped up to $1,734,000. For sure, the extra properties sold at $2 million or more have a lot to do with why average price is so high. However, it happened. We have to note it. So average sold price is way up there. And if we compare to, say, 8 months ago or so in August, and remember, July, August, September last year, we were really doing well in real estate, and everybody was all going crazy about how prices were so high. Well, we're way higher than where we were just 8 months ago. We were sitting over here, 1,300,000, 1,400,000, 420, 1,500,000. Then we start hitting 1,600,000. Now we've surpassed consistently in this new year over 1,700,000. Prices are really high, and looks like they're going higher in Vaughan. Compared to last year, we're 31% higher than at the same time last year. Now, over this is last year. The blue are last year's prices. Average sold prices, I should say. Now, they started to trickle down. We were hearing talks and rumors about maybe going into a lockdown, and a couple weeks before, things kind of got a bit quiet. So let's not look at those numbers here and compare them saying, wow, we're that much higher. But if we just go back a few weeks, we don't have to look far. We are consistently over 20% higher than where we were last year's average sold price in Vaughan. And if you've been in the market and you've been trying to buy or trying to sell, you know what's happening out there. If you're trying to buy, it's hard to buy. It's a challenge. You really need a good realtor on your side, and you really need to be strategic about what you're doing. If you're looking to sell, you also need to be strategic, because you can doing things the right way, using the right realtor, and properly marketing your home will get you that extra 10, 20, 30,000. Okay, so looking at sales, again, the blue is last year's sales. The orange is this year. We're consistently selling more properties than what we sold last year at this time. And of those 83, 72% sold at list price or more. So 3/4. That's, there's a lot of activity, a lot of action out there. When we look at listings, we are listing more than what we listed last year at this time. And months of inventory. Now, months of inventory, for those of you joining us for the first time, I keep talking about months of inventory. It's really the relationship between supply and demand. And as long as months of inventory sit this low, 0.9, sellers are in charge. Anything below 4 months of inventory is a seller's market. Between 4 and 6 is a balanced market. Above 6 months of inventory is a buyer's market. In a buyer's market, prices tend to come down week after week. In a seller's market, prices tend to go up. And sellers are in charge. And as long as prices are months of inventory are this low, prices are going to stay really high and continue to climb. Let's take a close look at Richmond Hill. We sold 50 detached homes last week. 10 of them sold at $2 million or more. Also, 20% of all the properties sold in Richmond Hill last week were at $2 million or more. Big number. That helps to push the average sold price to $1,741,000. Incidentally, detached prices in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, City of Toronto are all sitting just north of $1,700,000. And when we compare back to where we were coming August and September, we're way up there. Over here we were sitting at $1,600,000, $1,500,000. Now we're consistently over $1,700,000 in this new year of 2021. So prices are way up compared to last year. 13% higher. That's for last week. Week before 8%, 21%, 24, 27. We're way up there. We're way higher in Richmond Hill than last year's average sold price. Sales, this week we were slightly higher than what we sold last year at this time, and 74% of those sold at list price or more. So Vaughan, Richmond Hill, same numbers, same percentages, 74, 75, 71% sold at list price or more. 20% of all the sales were at $2 million or more. Lots of people out there with lots of money. Listings are a bit higher than what they were, and they're higher for several weeks now. They're higher than what we listed last year. And months of inventory, although a little bit higher than what Vaughan's detached prices are or what Vaughan's months of inventory are, still, Vaughan we're sitting at 0.9, here we're sitting at 1. Look here, it's interesting that months of inventory previous week jumped up to 1.8. Still very much a seller's market. It's not like, wow, the market's falling apart. 1.8, and prices came down a little bit. Months of inventory comes down to 1.3, prices go up a little bit. That's a normal situation. As months of inventory come down, prices go up. If months of inventory stay low, prices will stay high or continue to go up. Looking at condos. Okay, so this is really interesting. The Vaughan condo market is pretty steady. We sold 30 last week, 35 the week before, and those sales in a week are some of our better weeks. There's not too many weeks where we're selling more than that. However, when we look at average sold price, it dropped a little bit by $2,000 or so. So the average condo in Vaughan sold for $644,000. But if we're trying to pick out a trend, which is what I look at, I'm kind of thinking Vaughan condos are pretty steady when it comes to price. They've held their price all along, even through the Christmas, New Year's. They've held their price through the fall last year, and it bounces up and down between, say, $550,000 to $625,000, $630,000. It's a little bit higher more often this year so far, but overall it kind of follows this channel here. It goes up and down, but it's pretty steady overall. Compared to last year, if you look at, the several weeks here, some weeks we're up, some weeks we're down, but it's pretty even keeled to where prices were last year. For the last couple of weeks, though, we've been 5% higher each week than where average sold prices were last year. Sales, a little bit lower than what we sold last year. But 70% of those sold at list price or more. Why is that significant? Well, when we look at what's been selling at list price or more, just the percentages, we've got things like 31%, 39, 54, 52, 27, 46. This at 70% is a big jump from the norm that's been happening so far this year. Listings, we're listing a little bit more than what we listed last year, and months of inventory are sitting extremely low at 0.7 months of inventory. So what's that? It's about 3 weeks of inventory right now. And that helps to understand why prices are sitting consistently higher right now than where they were on average last year. They're not so much higher that, wow, we see them going up, but in that range that I was talking about earlier, it's been sitting at the top end of that range. It really hasn't come down this year. Looking at Richmond Hill condos, okay, this is a slightly different story. So sales are pretty consistent here at 20. For a few weeks now, we've been selling 20 every single week. But average sold price for condos in Richmond Hill, it's been quite steady since October, but this year, it's really starting to pick up. We kind of went into the year around 530,000. Now we're sitting average sold price of 613,000. Compared to last year, for this 1 week, March 10th, we're 5% higher. We've been higher and lower, but overall, it looks like we're a bit higher than we were last year's average sold price. Sales, pretty similar to where we were last year at this time. 60% of those sold at list price or more. Listings, generally speaking, we're listing less than what we're listing last year. Now, for the other home types, we're listing more, but for Richmond Hill condos, there's less listings coming onto the market, which helps to explain why months of inventory is about the lowest that we're seeing. We're sitting at 0.5 months of inventory, and that really helps to explain why average sold price is more aggressive this year. We're sitting at 613,000 as the average sold price, but it's been going up quite a bit from where it was around 500 over here, 476 before we went into the new year, and now we're sitting at 613. And as long as supply and demand is behaving this way and months of inventory is low, we can expect prices to stay up there or climb even higher. That's my report for Vaughan, Richmond Hill. Listen, it's interesting times out there right now in real estate. If you're looking to make any kind of a move, get the information you need. Make sure you understand what's going on. Talk to the right people. Talk to professionals. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. I'm a full-time realtor. If you need any help, let me know. Have a great day and stay safe.